you sure?
Good morning, Mr. President. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Are you British?
I'm not British, but I am in UK.
No, you're in the UK. Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm laughing because you're saying that people are shopping in Lidl and what. I just got up, Mr. President. I apologize because I just stroll your live right now and I'm loving it what you're talking about.
Look, I have to say thank you so much. You've made my day because I've been here for well over an hour and it's always been almost America, Africa discussion. And I wanted to speak to Britain because I'm hearing things about Britain and I don't know what is going on. All I do know is that you have a new government. That government has been in power for 7 months, but
Yes.
Prime Minister is having a tough time. People are saying he's not delivering. What can you deliver in 7 months when the previous government was in there for 14 years? And I don't understand what is going on in Britain.
Where do we start, Mr. President? First and foremost, I just wanted to say I'm so proud to see you standing there talking about all these issues. I think we need to hear it. And secondly, I wanted to say, as people, we are conditioned to work. We do not condition to think. When I'm saying this in the UK, it's quite very hard. We go to work, you come back home, you don't even have time to think about politics. You don't have time to think about the country. But I am very proud for you to stand here to actually trying to remind us we need to think about these things. In the UK, it has been really hard. Yes, our Prime Minister, I don't even suppose is going to be delivering anything because the country has been, how do I use the word in a polite way? The country has been going under previous Prime Minister. This is going back into COVID time when everything has gone down. Yes, Labour has taken over now for 7 months. And I think a lot of people are expecting that this is going to be a change. And I think a lot of UK people expecting there would be something different. I'm a healthcare provider. I work in hospital. I'm a nurse. And I went to school here in the UK. To see the things have changed. Things have changed really badly. Since we exit from Brexit, we do not have any luxury of anything. Life has become really hard. So for people to blame our Prime Minister to deliver in 7 months, I think that's not fair. They should look into why our country or UK has gone down in the first place. And where should we start to build this country? Healthcare is gone really bad. The just a living condition has gone really down. We cannot even afford to even pay money for food, even though I'm a nurse, okay, and I earn money, but our living situation has gone really high. The price of everything has gone really high. We can't afford it. As a UK citizen, standing here in front of you, Mr. President, saying that we are failing either way. Although people are still conditioned or brainwashed to think that this is all to do with immigrant or people coming from outside UK, but I differ. I don't think so that is the case. Because why is our country is in this state of mind? I'm not going to blame anyone. I'm just blaming the government.
So, madam, you are telling me a country that Africans want to come to, people cannot afford to eat in that country.
I am telling you, people cannot afford to eat. Do you know, Mr. President, that the government of UK have actually could not sustain this country? They have actually come to other country to get workers to come and work in UK, as I call them, international workers. These workers, they come from Nigeria, the whole of Africa in total, India, Philippines, everywhere. And they can't afford to pay their own workers here. They had to bring other people from outside to build again UK. And these workers, they are suffering because the living condition is high in UK. It's not cheap. Even to eat is difficult. So I just don't understand why us people, our black people, why we have to be blamed to come. We are coming here to build their country, and still they are blaming us here and telling us to go back to our country. And in another way, that it's their government have brought us here.
Okay, so I'm really shocked by what I have heard about Britain.
It is sad because even if you look at people, like they think that England or UK have got the best opportunities. Yes, of course there is. But if you cannot afford to live in this country, what's the benefit of being here? To get referral to hospital, Mr. President, it takes up to 2 years. And this is a service which is free.
Wow. So you've got Labour, who have been in power for 7 months.
Yes.
You have the opposition leader, Kemi Badenoch, who, as I understand it, is British, but has married Nigerian heritage. I have been horrified by what I have also seen, where she's been attacked online to go back home because she has Nigerian heritage. That is shocking.
Very, very shocking.
Then there's someone called Nigel Garage. Is it Garage?
Yes, yes.
And my understanding from what I read, that this is why it's fascinating to talk to you, is the view is that he is going to be the next prime minister.
I hope not.
Why? Why not?
Because they haven't really built anything around it. Niger Gareth has been here before. We are not hearing it that they are actually aiming to build the UK. So even if he's going to be the next prime minister, what is he going to bring? NHS has gone down. Nothing has. They are actually broke, NHS. You come into hospitals, you see patients on the corridor, dying on the corridor. So what is Niger's going to do?
You are telling me in Britain.
Mr. President, I work in hospital.
I don't disagree with you, and I'm not. I believe you. I just wanted to clarify. You are telling me in Britain, 2025, people are dying in
corridors, hospitals, corridors. So they need to look into their government, how they are going to help this country. Inside their government, I'm not I don't really follow politics a lot.
But that is part of the problem, because you are the first British person I have spoken to in many months on this platform. And with all due respect, when I talk to British people, well, I'm not interested. I don't do politics. But these people make decisions that affect you on a daily basis. Either the price of bread, or the price of eggs, or the price of accommodation, or What is the solution? If this current prime minister cannot fix Britain, what is the solution for Britain?
I don't know, because we were hoping that our current prime minister will be able to have a solution in our country, and I haven't seen anything changes.
But he's only been there for 7 months. It's going to take time.
It will take time.
When you have a baby, it takes time for that baby to walk. It's going to take time for Starmer. Starmer cannot undo what the Tory government did for 15 years. They were in power for 14, 15 years. There's no way he can undo
the
Tory government
No, so our frustration, Mr. President, is hospitals, schools, jails, housing, all need to be addressed in this country, in this government right now. But I'm not expecting our current prime minister will be able to sort it out in 7 months. Even if in 10 years, I don't think so he will be able to do it.
So
But
if you're saying to me that even in 10 years, it's not going to sort of, because I
no,
think part of the problem for Britain is this. Every 4 or 5 years, you have an election. If you're lucky, you have the same government in power, so they don't have to reverse their policies. But once you have someone else in power from a different party, that person reverses the policy of the other party.
yes.
There's no consistency, there's no continuity. My belief is that democracy is not working in Britain because no matter if it is Nigel Garage, if it is Kenny Badenoch, if it is what's his name, Starmer, democracy is not working. So maybe you need another form of government. Maybe we need another different style of government to fix things in Britain. Because if democracy is not working, because you've tried it and it's not working. Because I always hear some parties will say we want to fix the NHS. Every 5 years they want to fix the NHS and they're not fixing the NHS. It doesn't matter if it's Labour, if it is Lib Dem, if it is Reform Party. Okay, Reform haven't been in power, but these parties that have been in power, they want to fix. They have been fixing the NHS for who knows how long. So why can't they try a different kind of governance? Why can't they try something different that is not democracy?
That's the question now they need to answer because even if we look around other parties, I don't know because as a worker, I'm not coming to you as a politician, as a worker, which I've seen, I'm on underground, seeing how the things are going too hard. We kind of like losing the hope and thinking, what next? What can we do? And a lot of people, they may think that this is an exaggeration. They should come and actually look and see how we live.
You know what's really interesting for this, in terms of this discussion, is there are lots of Americans on here who are just saying, oh, so Britain is just like America, because they've never heard about what's happening in Britain. And there are Africans who want to come to Britain because they believe that Britain is littered with gold. You know, littered with life is easier in Britain. And yeah, I don't know. I just genuinely think that the British need to think of another form of government. If they have been practicing democracy for this long and it's not working and nothing is working, and you don't believe that that Starmer, even after 10 years in power, will be able to fix Britain. Do you maybe part of the problem, and maybe he needs to be brave enough and say, look, we made a mistake with the Brexit and we need to go back to the EU.
Would they be able to take that accountability, Mr. President, to actually take the accountability they made a mistake? That's the question, because I don't see anyone taking that accountability. They have made a huge mistake to dislocate themselves from the EU.
But they can reverse it.
They can, of course, but who's going to take that responsibility? Because first, when they were doing this thing about they want to take themselves out, a lot of Britain thought that because of UK thought that they were contributing a lot of fund towards other countries. So that's what they thought. And obviously, the UK people didn't want to pay for other people's benefits or anything for free, they call it. But they never thought about those people. They were coming here to work. They are coming here to contribute something in this country. So they were very blindsided when this happened years ago. So, and now we can see how we live without the other party and how hard it is. And I absolutely believe, I've got my friend here with me. He's a white British and he's very, very into his country because I'm a black woman. I actually look on both sides. Yes, I come from Tanzania. I traveled to UK and live here for 25 years. but I can feel they're different, and I can hear what they're saying. My flatmate is just close to me, and he's absolutely a white British, and his view is different. But Mr. President, I can see the difference when we were together, and now we are not. We're just independent UK.
Does
It
your
is.
does your friend want to talk to me? I want to hear.
Yes, he can talk to you. Mr. President is here. I actually want him to say something. He's here. His name is Karim, Mr. President. He's here.
Hello, sir.
Mr. President,
How are you?
very well. Nice to speak to you.
Nice to speak to you too. And I am glad that you've joined me. I'm actually quite pleased that I've been able to attract some British people today to just have a discussion on international politics. How is Labour going to fix Britain? Can Britain be fixed?
How will Labour fix Britain?
Yeah.
That's a very expansive question. For me personally, I'm not a Labour supporter. I've never been a Labour supporter. However, and I've historically voted as a Conservative for various reasons based on where I grew up in the UK. I grew up down in the south, quite an affluent area, a lot of opportunity. My family is not well off, but I wouldn't say we were on the poor side. So Labour historically in this country provide for the working class and for people of a lower class who are on the benefit system. Now, they were predominantly voted back in through power because the Conservative government had been in power for so long and they had failed miserably at a lot of their policies and what basically a lot of the UK population wanted them to achieve. So like Aisha said, the infrastructure in the UK at the minute is not good. We have a housing crisis. We have a population of, I think it's about 68 million people. We have the highest tax pay rate in the history of the UK, I believe, or since the late 70s at least. And schools are underfunded. Our jails are overcrowded. Our road network is cracked. Our rail network is terrible. It's extremely high to travel by train.
Underpaid.
Yes, there's people that are underpaid. However, the Labour government would argue that they've just increased the
wages for nurses.
The sort of low income wage from, I think it's gone up from around £10 an hour to £11.50, I think it is around that. So the problem we've got is that our Chancellor of the Exchequer, when she came in, Rachel Reeves, she didn't really get off to a great start. She put out that there was a black hole of around £40 billion, which the Tory government had created. However, they don't really go into in-depth detail on what that 40 billion consists of. So what they've done is to recoup some of that money. They've introduced a higher national insurance rate on companies, which means that if they're employing staff, the companies have to pay out more money for that national insurance for each of those staff members. So whatever the government does is typical politics. If they want to raise taxes through council tax or national insurance or VAT, or there's so many taxes we have here. Pricing things. So if you whittle it back, eventually the hit is taken by the working class man. That is it. And to get the balance right of living in this country, uh, it's difficult. I mean, I can't really moan. I'm a mental health nurse. I qualified 6 months ago. I did a 3-year university course. I worked very hard through those 3 years. I did extra work. I was working about 60 hours a week. I managed to bank my student loan and get a mortgage and buy a house. I'm about to move into a house. I can't moan too much, but that is off the back of working extremely